Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be going over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers injury report for their Week 5 matchup versus the Atlanta Falcons. This video is sponsored by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, by the way, and this injury report is provided by Fox Sports' own Greg Auman. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Firstly, we have Graham Barton, who was limited in Monday's practice. Now, this was a walkthrough practice. However, this is an estimation that if it was a full practice, this is what the availability of these players would be, okay? So an important distinction to make there. But Graham Barton would have been limited in Monday's practice. He is still dealing with an ankle injury. He was on the injury report last week. A new addition to the injury report is SirVocea Dennis. Now, I believe it has already been talked about where SirVocea Dennis probably is not going to be playing in this upcoming matchup on Thursday. Todd Bowles did talk about how that is a pretty big loss for their defense in terms of subbing in Dennis for plays that KJ Britt might not be as good of a fit for. They have talked about the idea, or Greg Auman did ask about the idea of using Tyke Smith more, maybe Jordan Whitehead more, and some other different types of versatile defensive backs. Bowles did say that that is something that is being considered. They're also thinking about giving J.J. Russell some more snaps and also possibly even elevating Antonio Greer Jr. from the practice squad as well. But SirVocea Dennis is dealing with a shoulder injury. It seems like he's probably going to miss this Thursday night matchup. You then had Mike Evans, who is now dealing with not just a knee injury from last week's injury report, but now a calf injury, which was probably due to all the different type of heat and circumstances surrounding the Bucs home game in that Week 4 win versus the Eagles. He did not participate, or would not have participated, in Monday's practice. Greg Gaines has an ankle injury that he is still dealing with. Will Golston has a knee injury that he is dealing with. He would have been not participating in Monday's practice. Greg Gaines, which I should say that still dealing with, Greg Gaines, I think is a new addition to this injury report. He would have been limited in Monday's practice. So it just continues the stretch of the defensive line being absolutely decimated by injuries. We're going to talk more about that here in just a moment, because I do have some points I want to make. But before we do, folks, I do want to say again, shout out to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for being a proud sponsor here on the YouTube channel. Folks, if you use the YouTube code 150 or the promo code YouTube 150 whenever you guys are checking out or making your offers or your bids or whatnot, you do get a 150% sign up bonus on your first deposit. Then after that, a 125% bonus on your next two deposits, all of that up to $2,000. So again, guys, go check out BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. I do ask that you guys do gamble responsibly. But folks, back to the defensive line injuries and whatnot. My goodness, folks. Greg Gaines, ankle injury. Will Golston, knee injury. Calijah Kancey, calf injury. Now, they did not... Todd Bowles said he doesn't know about the availability right now of Calijah Kancey and Antoine Winfield Jr. If they could even get one of those guys back for this Thursday night game, that is so huge, by the way. So freaking huge. But we don't know yet. And obviously, it's a short week. They may not be as ready as if the game would have been on Sunday. We're just going to have to wait and see. But then you have Vita Vea still dealing with a knee injury. So, folks, and Logan Hall is still dealing with a foot injury, by the way. So I just want to make one thing clear. All three of your starting defensive linemen, Calijah Kancey, Logan Hall, and Vita Vea, are all dealing with injuries, okay? They've been on the injury report for a couple of weeks now, all three of those guys. Logan Hall since week 1, Calijah Kancey since week 1, Vita Vea for a couple of weeks now. Then you have backup defensive linemen, backup nose tackle Greg Gaines, backup defensive lineman Will Golston, who are dealing with injuries. Will Golston, I feel like, has been on the injury report since at least week 2. Greg Gaines now joins the injury report. This defensive line is just freaking decimated by injuries, man. It's absolutely terrible. The wide receiver room is also decimated with some injuries. Mike Evans is on the injury report for the second week in a row. Cameron Johnson, ankle injury. He was limited. He played last week. That's awesome. You love to see that, but he would have been limited in today's practice. Jalen McMillan, hamstring, did not participate or would not have participated. Trey Palmer, concussion, would not have participated, which, by the way, I think this is Trey Palmer's second concussion. I believe he had one towards the end of the preseason, so that's a little concerning, especially with the Tua T stuff going on right now. Look, Sterling Shepard stepped up in a big way this past week. He had 50 yards receiving, had a big 30-yard catch in that game. Thank goodness Chris Godwin isn't on this injury report, by the way. I think Mike Evans would probably be okay. Maybe. If I had to guess. But, like, man, the defensive line and wide receiver rooms are just decimated right now with injuries. And while you want to assume majority of these guys are probably going to play, I'd say probably like 80% of these guys are going to play in terms of the wide receiver and defensive line rooms. It still is concerning that these guys are dealing with a lot of nagging injuries. It's very frustrating. Still with the offensive line, Luke Gedeke was limited with a concussion. That's a bit of a weird situation. I and a lot of people were under the assumption that he was going to play last week. JC Allen of Sports Illustrated said that he was not going to. Did he have a setback? Whatever it may be, we don't know. That's unfortunate. Tristan Wirfs is on this injury report with a knee injury. He would have been limited in this practice. Of course, Antoine Winfield Jr., still dealing with his foot injury, would not have participated. And Ko Keefe rounds off this long list with an ankle injury. He would have been limited. So, folks, let me paint the picture. By the way, the Atlanta Falcons injury report only has 4 players, so let that be what it is. Here is the Bucs injury report, okay? Your starting center, both of your starting offensive tackles, your number 1 wide receiver, your number 3 wide receiver, your number 4 wide receiver, and your number 5 wide receiver, okay? So you have 4 wide receivers and 3 starting offensive linemen on your injury report, okay? That's just offensively. It's worse defensively. You have all 3 of your starting defensive linemen, your 2 top backup defensive linemen, so 5 defensive linemen total, your number 3 linebacker, and your starting star safety, who are all your injury report. And sorry, on the offensive side of things, like your 4th tight end, 3rd tight end, whatever it may be. Sorry, Ko Keefe. Boy, oh boy, the Bucs have a lot of injuries. They are freaking banged up, man. And look, again, I understand 80% of these guys ended up playing last week. 80% of these guys are going to be playing this upcoming week against Philadelphia or against Atlanta, right? But man, it's going to feel good whenever you start seeing this list, let's just say quartered, right? Like get a few of these guys off the list. Okay, I'm just happy like Jamel Dean isn't on the list anymore. Zion McCollum isn't on the list anymore. Chris Godwin isn't on the list anymore. That's good. But man, the Bucs still have a bit of a ways to go here before they get healthier. They have just been dealing with so many nagging injuries so far this year. It's incredible. It's incredible. Point blank simple as that. I mean, it just continues to build what this team needs to continue to overcome. Because again, like you know, you're having guys like Sterling Shepard go out there and have to make plays. Anthony Nelson make plays last week. You know, it's just guys having to step up, right? I mean, Christian Izzian's been having some good moments with Antoine Winfield Jr. being out. Justin School had to start at right tackle. He hasn't necessarily been good, but I'm saying the Bucs have had a lot of road. Cameron Johnson's had, you know, well, he dropped the touchdown, but there's just been they've had to have a lot of different guys come in and play a lot of different roles because of some nagging injuries. Also, another positive thing, by the way, Rashad White and Bucky Irving aren't on the injury report. Good, right? Maybe they ran out of room. I mean, maybe they ran out of room on the injury report. I don't know, man. But the Bucs are banged up. They are. It is what it is. Again, I'm sure a lot of these guys are going to end up playing. But we will just have to wait and see what the team does going forward in terms of this kind of stuff. So we'll see, you guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions about this injury report down in the comments section below. I would love to hear it. And yeah, guys, just let me know your thoughts and opinions, by the way. I know there was also that weird situation with Trent Gill. We don't really know who the starting punter is going to be yet, by the way. I'm not going to make a video about it. Whatever. Look, I make videos about everything, by the way, but like, I'm not going to make a video about punter. That type of punter news. You know, if they cut Jake Camarda, that's one thing, and maybe they will. I don't know, but like, I don't know, man. Like, that'd be like a 2-minute conversation. You know, I don't know if people would want to watch me talk about the punters like that. Maybe they do. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you want to hear me talk about the punters like that. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Got plenty more content getting ready to come out, so stay tuned for that as well. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, by the way, one more time, thank you to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino for sponsoring this video. Greatly appreciated. See you in the next one. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. And go Bucs.